Okay, so Roshan, it's nice to actually be able to ask you a couple of questions
Yeah,
for
yeah,
once and just turn the table a little bit, yeah?
Yeah, and I heard you have a son who's just going to high school, right?
I do. So my son Henry, okay, so he's 10, just turning 11 in 2 weeks' time back in New Zealand, which
Happy
is an
birthday,
exciting
Henry.
time. So here's a question for you, okay, because I know you know about leadership and culture and all the camps you do. Let's give Henry 3 bits of advice for that transition to high school at that sort of age. What would you advise?
So I mean, to me, I think one of the things that we need to have a very open mindset when we go wherever. I mean, I think, but it applies specifically to high school. You're going to have a new experience, and the idea is to accumulate as many experiences as you can. Try everything.
Yeah.
You know,
Good and bad.
Well, I mean, you never know until you try something, and you know we say we are lousy at something, but the more we delve into it, the better we become. So at some point in time, you say, I love doing this, right? But don't get stuck and say, I love it and I'm not going to do anything else, right? Always try to have as many experiences there. And then also connect with as many people. Because what happens is, one of the things, I think the most underrated thing is perspective. And when we all have certain friends, and after a while we develop certain siloed perspective of what life is. But life is so diverse, life is huge, right? And you go to India, you go to China, you go to Malaysia, you know, everybody thinks differently, talks differently. And if you are open to experiences, new ideas, new diversity of thinking, you become really diverse person. And diversity is not about gender. Diversity is not about I don't think it's all about that religion and so on. It's really about your thinking, the ability to see things. And if you are able to have this diverse thinking, at some point later when you transition to university, right, what you will be able to do is start connecting dots. Which is a skill that not many people tend to have. That's why some people become really rich entrepreneurs and they see things that nobody sees.
That's right, they see the world different,
Correct, because from a young age, they start to develop this ability to think in a different way, to see things. And it's really about listening, open to new experiences. In fact, that's for my son too, who's also going to turn 11 in a couple of months actually. But it's, and I keep telling him, hey, and the final piece of advice is this. When you try something, you're generally going to fail, right? But I always tell my son, it's a saying, I say it's pain must tahan. Tahan is a Malay word to be resilient, right? When there's pain, don't worry about the pain, just fight through it, right? And then the other thing I always say is no pain, no gain, right? So, when you come into new school and there's going to be some aspirations. I want to be famous here. I want to be this, something like that. And it's all right. I want to be a great YouTuber. You can do whatever, right? But to get there, it's a painful process, and you must tahan, be resilient. But you must also understand that there's gain to be obtained when you go through pain. So I mean, I'll leave you with this few things.
That is fantastic.
But I think any kid, right? If you do these things, you will be significantly surprised. I'll just end with a story. When I was young, so I think it was about 12 or 13. I lived in a place where there wasn't many fields, and I really enjoyed playing football, right? And we always play in the playground, but soon the parents scolded us and said, hey, you can't play in this playground because the other kids, you guys are 12, 13, the ball's going to break this and that. So we were looking around, and many of our guys say, we are a lousy neighborhood, this and that. And we started complaining, right? And this is the natural, right? So, but I decided to do something. I said, let's walk around and see if there's other areas. And finally we found this place where it was huge, there was kind of, what we call this weeds and stuff and lots of rocks. And I say, hey, I think if we go home, each of us take this charcoal, which is kind of a, I don't know, it's like a little tool to remove grass, right? So each of us do that and we did that for a couple of months and we moved nothing, like little bit. But as we were doing it, right, one guy, I think about 3 months in, came in and said, hey, what are you guys doing? I said, oh, we're trying to level the field so that we can have level this place so we can have a field. I said, oh, I'm from the local authorities and I'll get you a land remover. And tomorrow this land remover came up there right, and removed that. And we were like, oh great. But then when we started, this place, there's so much sand and so much rocks and all. And we said, look, let's just be proactive and let's take care of it. We started picking it off. And then we had a field and then grass started to grow. And and then there was monkeys, because every time we kicked the ball, went to the monkeys would take the ball and steal it. But after a while, right, and we said, look, just keep going, right? And we kept playing. We lost balls. So today your ball, tomorrow's my ball. Tomorrow, we all happily lost balls. But at some point in time, the monkeys stopped taking our balls. And whenever they saw us play, they would be cheering, right? And so, and I'm almost thinking the monkeys were gambling, right? Because there was one set, they were like, when my team scored, they were, oh, and the other guys were sad, and then, and whenever the ball went up, they threw the ball back. And at some point in time, I always tell the story because I find that you can sit there, because we could have done nothing and just moped. Instead, we looked for new areas and new opportunities, and then even though nothing worked, you know,
keep trying.
when people see that you're doing something, you know, the universe kind of conspires to give
create some movement,
give you new stuff, you know, and I think that's what you want to do in high school, right? Keep doing stuff,
keep doing stuff, keep trying,
and you'll be great. All right,
hey, Roshan, thank
all
you
right,
very
Henry,
much.
happy birthday and all the best.
Thank you.
All right.